Like,
So, okay, do you remember who's roasted you the worst? And like, do you remember like what was
there
said?
are 2 people,
Okay.
maybe 3. Like, there's, you know what? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a treat. Making a live edit right now on the show, Holly Heat, just exclusive. Me having an all-out war of roasting against DC Young Fly and Emmanuel Hudson off the set after hours. We going at it. And then I'll show you some of the best roasts that I've been hit with on the show Roast Me. Exclusively right here. She gonna get this is all because this is my homie right here. This is all because of her.
Welcome to the Hot Seat with Holly Heat. I'm your host, Holly Heat. I have come back renewed, refreshed, and ready to take on a new season, unlike my Texans. So you might be wondering what's been going on with me in the past 4 months. Well, I got a puppy and I truly regret it. Not because I now realize how many dogs I was already dealing with trying to date in Houston, Texas, but more so because she's just so needy. Nevertheless, she's become a part of the family. I also attended the US Open in New York City last month, and if you've never been, I highly suggest making the trip to Flushing. I was even regaled with live entertainment on the train out there by a woman who told an impassioned story about Sylvester Stallone being her uncle right before breaking into an old church hymn. Gotta love New York, not the Yankees though. I also attended NBA Summer League in July, which was great. I love having the opportunity to see young talent before they reach the main stage during the NBA season. If you don't know, Summer League is held in Las Vegas, so it's always cool walking around, mostly drunk, knowing you could possibly run into an NBA superstar or potential sugar daddy, which actually sounds a lot like Houston. I did see Rasheed Wallace at the pool, and while he wouldn't take a picture with me because he was with his family, and let's face it, I was at best scantily clad, I didn't miss the opportunity to yell, "Ball don't lie," as he walked away off into the sunset. Legend. We begin the season of the hot seat in what I like to call the Holy Trinity season of sports. We're in the middle of football season, beginning of basketball season, and entering the baseball playoffs. Truly a magical time of year. Anyway, where to begin? Well, my Astros clinched playoff berths weeks ago. Some of these teams are just catching up, and I haven't heard much from the peanut gallery concerning the alleged cheating. Go Stros. In football, a man who was tackled by middle linebacker Bobby Wagner after running onto the field at the 49ers-Rams game Monday has filed a police report against Bobby. I stand with Bobby, though. I hate those obnoxious gender reveals. It's a girl. Wow. Football season has been perplexing, to say the least. The only undefeated team after week 4 is the Eagles. The Miami Dolphins were having a promising season until they brought their concussed quarterback back after about 4 days, having cleared concussion protocols. The Chiefs' one loss was to the now 1-2-1 Indianapolis Colts, and Tom Brady has led the team to a dismal 2-2 record after unretiring to come back to the Bucs. So suffice it to say, so far things have been a little weird. Weird, you say? Enter the NBA. So far, just having dipped our toe in the shallow end of the NBA preseason, Celtics coach Ime Udoka, who led his team to a finals the first year as head coach, has been suspended for a year. KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons have started practicing together in Brooklyn. Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley both play for the Lakers, as well as the prodigal Dennis Schroeder, and apparently Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole at practice yesterday. I guess the cost of being the most progressive league in sports is unnecessary drama at every turn, and I, of course, being a product of my generation, love it here. Anyway, I'm excited to get back to doing what I love here on the Hot Seat with Holly Heat, and I am glad you decided to join me this season. Today, my guest is comedian and actor Billy Sorrells, so let's get to the hot seat. Welcome back to the Hot Seat with Holly Heat. I am your host, Holly Heat, and today I am joined by a very special guest for my first episode of season 2, Billy Sorrells, actor and comedian. And
I'm so excited to be here. I mean, if there was ever a place that I would like to be, it is here with you, Harley, in your hot seat. So many of our actors, we come from across the pond. So to be here to speak about the career that I've made, it's impeccable. I love what you were doing. I saw season 1, and peculiarly, I saw your rise to stardom. It has occurred here, starting with sports, and now, magnificently, voila.
Yeah.
We have Harley Heat, the hot seat.
Yes. Well, the honor is all mine to have you here, sir. Yes. Sir Sorrells, as we're.
Sir, yes. Well, yeah. Well, for all the men who are viewing this show here, put on your cup, sir. Pay attention to this woman speaking upon what she's speaking upon today.
Been watching a lot of House of Dragons? Or
more importantly, I started with Downton Abbey, actually.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
Followed by several series of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Gotcha.
J.R. Tolkien is a great writer. Even though her views politically may not be as sound as savage as most people would watch, I actually particularly like them.
Well, I'm so glad to have you here to talk about Lord of the Rings, because, you know, that's why people tune into the sports show.
Lord of the Rings, you mean Dallas
because...
Cowboys.
Oh, no. Did I fall into a trap?
Yeah, you found it.
Did I fall into the trap?
You the Lord of the Rings are here. Release the Kraken. Yes, his name is C.D. Lamb. Read about his man who has been receiving yards. And I don't know when this is going to come out, but it's so far. They haven't
You need to be...
The Houston Texans
okay.
are struggling. I'm not sure what they have done. Lovie Smith, he's a bum. Well, C.D. Lamb has been showing up and showing out. Now, they've gotten rid of old Dak, and I'm quite sure his contract won't be renewed. We've got a white man back at the helm of the Dallas Cowboys. White men everywhere feeling victorious. So,
yeah.
Hello.
Sir
everyone.
Jerry Jones is very happy.
I'm going to leave this here for
oh, that's too kind of you.
It's so kind.
You have to. We're gonna have to definitely sanitize this desk at the end of the program here. But that was actually my first question: was why are you a fan of the trash ass Cowboys? And
What team is the Pittsburgh Steelers?
My team is the Houston Texans.
I thought you were talking to some of the team that had championships. I gave you more credit than what you had.
But those championships.
The Cleveland Browns actually are better. I'm sorry, the Cincinnati Bengals are better. I mean, I'm not sure. Man, when you talk about football, let me give you a little background about me. I am a third generation coach's son. My father, grandfather, all coaches, high school football coaches in Tennessee. So coming up, I played football. I was on a football field with my dad and my granddad. They actually coached at 2 different rival black high schools against each other. So, let me tell you how crazy that is. When your daddy and your granddaddy are both coaches, head coaches, and then they coach against each other at a game, a high school game, and you go to the game and like the first half you sit on your daddy's side and the second half you sit on your granddaddy's side. I was 8 years old and I went over my granddaddy's side and my granddaddy wrote me a note and he said, "Hey, take this to your daddy. That's the next play I'm about to run on his ass all the second half. See if he can stop it." And then I took it to my daddy and my daddy said, "Get that out of my face." And literally my granddaddy ran the same play and just kept scoring on it. And my daddy, they scored back and forth. And then toward the middle of the game, near past halftime, my granddaddy started writing notes again. He was like, "Hey, this is what your daddy doing wrong. You need to fix this on the secondary. This is why I keep burning him over here."
So was he being petty or was he actually really trying to help him?
He was whooping his ass and telling him where it was happening at. And then, my dad, the game was close, but it was still one of them things where it's so for me, learning football, my granddad and my dad would always tell me, football don't teach you about football. Football teaches you about life. And so I played from kindergarten all the way to high school to the 12th grade. I was going to play in college. And then I kind of just dove into my journalism career. And the thing about the Dallas Cowboys is I love the story. Leaving from Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I was born and raised up until I was 10, I moved to Houston in 93. Well, we get here in 93. My favorite team, because at the time, Tennessee didn't have a professional football team, I liked the Houston Oilers. Warren Moon. We get here. What does Warren Moon and the Oilers do the next year? They leave. I'm heartbroken. So, in that time, one of my dad's friends was like, "Man, fuck all that. Be a Cowboys fan." And I picked the year to be a Cowboys fan, and then it's from that time.
Well,
they went on a dynasty run. It was like, all right, I'm in love.
Often when we're heartbroken, we make poor decisions. So I can actually understand that.
I mean, you know.
No,
it paid off.
It did pay off at the time. I'll give you that. The
Cowboys
90s.
Fan. Then, by default, living in Houston, although I had been a Chicago Bulls fan up until that point, the Houston Rockets get their 2 championships, and then Michael Jordan comes back, and it's like, who cares about football? And like, who really cares about who won in like 98, 99? Nobody. I mean, the Houston Texans weren't even thought about, and then the Oilers wasn't winning. So like, what was y'all doing to 2001? Like, all right, now we're gonna be Texans fans. Like, I remember when they unveiled it, and it was just like, yeah, that's trash.
Don't.
Like, they were voting. Remember when they voted what the team was gonna be?
I know.
The Houston
it's not
Bulls.
as bad as the Commanders though, so it could have been worse.
I mean, Commanders is cool though. It's like
Commanders
it's
is
general.
cool.
I mean, what is a Texan? It's like somebody who's like, hey,
A person from
Hey.
Texas.
hey.
My daughter's school, they're the Texans.
What school is that?
Lamar. Yeah.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Oh, it used to be the Redskins. All right.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they- they
we're all politically correct around here now. So.
But the Cowboys, man. I mean, specifically the number 88. I mean, I'm such a fan of not just the Cowboys, but the number 88 jersey. You got Michael Irvin, who itself, his story of just like, yo, legend has it, Michael Irvin.
Have you met him?
Yes, several times, and I believe it. It's like, it's very like, I met Bobby Brown, I've met Marion Barry, and I've also met Michael Irvin, and all of them felt and smelled the same. There was quite like a hint of like Newport cigarette, Schlitz, and I'm like, there's cocaine somewhere else.
Well, yeah.
But they say legend has it, like during their second championship, he didn't lift no weights, he just was doing cocaine. Like, I believe it. He went to the University of Miami. Like, the whole team was on cocaine. Like, why would we not? Like, Michael Irvin. And then so like Des Bryant, now CeeDee Lamb, he snatches his phone back in the draft from his girl. Like, I knew he was gonna catch passes. Like, we knew.
He stayed ready.
He was ready. He was like, nah, baby, you're not gonna ruin my day. Like, let me get this back. So I'm excited.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
Cowboys win, God smiles.
let's not bring God into this now. Let's not go
God bless the
so
Dallas
far.
Cowboys.
So, okay, this was a topic that we talked about on a podcast.
Get you a woman who's a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Actually, Dak is set to, I guess, make a full recovery soon, and they're going to bring him back at some point.
And
when do you think they should bring him back? Because they were even talking about him possibly coming back as early as this week. I don't think they'll rush it, but
coaching wise, love Dak to death. Think he's a great guy, but you don't stop the momentum of the team. The team is winning with them, and that's something that they can't say they was doing with Dak. Dak and he's gonna have to start over and earn his spot back if that's what's best for the team. If I'm a coach,
earn his spot back.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
you were starting.
Yeah.
Last season counts. Hey, bruh, you had the helm. You weren't winning. Why? You were blowing big moments. We're winning right now. What are we gonna break team momentum so your ego can be stroked? No, keep his ass on the fucking bench. Like you're 3 weeks out of rotation. Like you're gonna have to prove to me. And then like it fucks up team morale. Like you come in and you just start starting, and then let's say they lose, then it's gonna be like, what? We back to that? Fuck no, no,
Yeah.
no.
And what's your opinion about Jerry Jones? Some people say like when they're kind of waiting on him to make his exit. Not that I wish that on anyone, but eventually that's going to happen. Do you think the team will kind of be revived after he kind of moves on? Or
I mean, we can't act like Jerry Jones isn't the reason.
Well, you like the story of the Cowboys, so you have to like Jerry, right?
I mean, he did everything that he was supposed to do. He got them the
That's
best
true.
stadium, best facility, best team.
Licensing, all the licensing.
It's like playing for the Yankees. Like, it's a great opportunity. Like,
Okay, we don't have to bring up the Yankees. We're already talking about the Cowboys. Let's have
I mean, Yankees, Dodgers, now Astros, marquee teams that you're gonna love and appreciate.
Are you an Astros fan?
Oh,
Oh, you took some. Took too long to answer on that
Let
one.
me clear up some shit.
Okay.
Let's get some clarity.
All right.
Lived in LA for 11 years. I moved there.
Please don't say Dodgers.
So, do you know how torn I was when I've been an Astros fan my entire life, and then I moved to LA, and then I'm going to Dodgers games, and now I'm a Dodgers fan for 11 years. Still love the Astros to death, but it's like, and then the Astros and Dodgers go into this World Series shootout for like 3 years. Like, what? Then you go get the championship taken from them, and then it goes like, it's like, what? Like, this is like storybook. I mean,
Okay, if it came down to it, which one are you going with, though?
Houston Astros.
Okay. All right. We're cool.
I got banged on because of the Astros. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I had to stop wearing the hat because it stands for Hoovers, the Crips in LA. So it's a whole different thing. They were, hey, cuz, so you for them Hoovers, cuz? And I'm like, nah, Houston Astros, bro, from Houston. Like, oh, homie, you not Hoovers? Nah. Oh, okay, homie, you gotta lose that hat though, cuz that's a dangerous hat, cuz. And bro, like, I got my Dodgers hat, and then it just kind of became a thing. And I always. I took my first trip to LA when I was 18, got my first Dodgers hat then, and it was just one of those things that I felt like rite of passage. I lived in New York for a year, never got a New York Yankees hat that I wore out in public.
You were on the public. Well,
yeah,
good.
just
You gotta leave that in the crib.
The aristocracy that they have is cool, but it's like, things you do in life. Go to an Astros game, go to a Dodgers game, go to a Yankees game. It's like they all feel different.
Yeah.
But Houston Astros.
Well, I'm glad to hear Houston Astros. So now that we've got all that out of the way.
I mean, we have it. But there's a point about this that I think people need to take home. And I'm going to say this to the people, because Holly, you're a beautiful woman. There's guys out here who think you're incredible.
Thank you.
And there's guys out here who are single. So let's talk to you guys. Hey, fellas, you're probably not going to get Holly. I'm quite sure. But get you a woman who's a Dallas Cowboys fan. Why? After my divorce, what did I do? Start dating a woman that's a Dallas Cowboys fan. Why? Why did you do this?
Please
she
enlighten
still believes
us.
in that team. She can definitely believe in your ass. I mean, a woman who's a Dallas Cowboys fan is going to stick by you through thick and thin. She's not a team jumping person. Like, you don't jump to be a Cowboys fan and then jump somewhere else. It's like, she doesn't do that. So a woman who appreciates this team knows how to lose with you and still hold you down.
See, I wouldn't want to date a Cowboys fan because I'd be like, well, they're just delusional.
Well, are they delusional? I mean,
a little bit.
I mean,
this is our year. We them boys. Like,
I mean, I feel you, and I feel your the condescending tone. But if you just look
I'm
at this
true
thing
to form.
statistically, numerically, who has a better chance of actually getting something that they've never gotten, or a team that actually knows how to do this? And based off the stats of this year, it's not going to happen this year either for you guys. So, I mean, really, when you think about it, it's more or less like, hey, try. Relationships, nobody wants you to win. Like, when you get in a new relationship, nobody wants you to win. So you kind of feel like a Dallas Cowboys because nobody wants to see you win because nobody really wants your relationship to work. So you got to really ride it out with that one teammate, one fan, and make it work, man.
You really went deep on the Dallas Cowboys
I'm just giving you
analogy
layers.
and
See, it's layers to
relationships.
it, baby. It's layers to it. You can look good losing in a Dallas Cowboys jersey. You know what I'm saying? You got a Cincinnati Bengals jersey on. Y'all get y'all hair blue out. Now you got that goofy ass orange and brown on. That don't go with nothing. Them not even really earth
Tony the
tones.
Tiger
like,
looking.
Like, you can still be respectable. Like, oh, he's a Cowboys fan. All right, no problem. You know, like, the merchandise still is dope.
All right. I'm going to let you make it on that. But I did want to ask, at what point did you know that you could make money from being funny? I know you say you journalism.
So quick background. I started out in television production. I went to Hightower High School. It was an all-digital broadcasting program there. Ted Irvin was my instructor. 16, I entered into the Telly Awards for television production and music video production. The first year I won in producing a talk show that I was doing titled Billy Speaks. Then I submitted that as my resume to get on with Teen Summit at BET. Became a teen correspondent with them. Worked with BET in high school, which was like very, very new. Then the next year I submitted, I produced music videos. That was my thing. I like music videos. got an award for that. Sent it to BET again. Started looking for up and coming artists to produce videos for. They hooked me up with some people. So I was in high school shooting videos for like different artists. And from that, ABC had a new talent development program where they were looking for new talent to work with and to develop. I submitted and I got in. I was the youngest person in their producer fellowship. I was at the time 17. I hadn't even turned 18 yet, and everybody was like 35 and 40. And I learned so much. So my college internship was at World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. I graduated in 2001. I was back and forth from New York all that summer, and then in September, we know what happened. 2001, September 11th happened.
Yeah.
And my internship, being able to go there, was over. But I had already learned so much. Melvin McRae was my mentor. He's one of the first black producers of World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, and he was Emmy winner multiple years. And I just started learning so much about producing television and telling a story. The problem was I could not put my opinion on what I thought into television. Those things just wasn't happening.
Right.
There were guys that were on the cusp of coming up. There was Rush Limbaugh's and Jim Rome is Burning. Those things were still developing as talking head pieces. But when we started having situations like Columbine and school shooting, and they started having different correspondents on to talk about what was going on to try and get insight, and you started having where there were competitors. Headline News started going at CNN, and then you had streaming of live news around the clock 24 hours. Well, these news outlets knew that they had to start making alternative programming, which gave birth to opportunities like what you have now with the hot seat, where it's like, hey, either you telling me something factual, no, I'm telling you my opinion and I'm giving you my personality. But at that time, as a black man, our opinion and what we thought and how we felt, we had to read what was on the paper.
Yeah.
So I would have stuff I would want to say and editorial type stuff. And so my journalism teacher was like, hey, why don't you start doing stand-up? Like, what you're saying is really funny and so true. Write it out, do stand-up. So I started going to comedy clubs, Just Joking Comedy Club right here on Richmond, down the street from where we're shooting at right now. I met Ali Sadiq, Marcus Wiley, and I started doing stand-up at like 18. And I did that through my first 2 years of college, and then I got really good at it. I got kicked out of college because I was drinking and having sex with girls. Consensual, I might add.
You're not allowed to do that in college?
Well, it was just like when
excessive.
Well, yeah, I had a chip on my shoulder kind of because like what I learned in high school was past what I was my curriculum in college. Tavis Smiley was over our program at TSU, and I was interning, working on his show, traveling a lot. So my teachers was like, hey, there's no reason you being here right now. Like, you're good. So I had 2 off periods to just like smoke weed, drink, get high, and hang out. Pleasure Fraternity became a Kappa, and then it was just like, yeah, I'm definitely partying and kicking it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So in school, comedy clubs were dope, but it was hard to like. I wanted people to see my content. So my friend that I met in LA was like, yo, there's this new platform coming out. You should get on it. YouTube. 2006, got on YouTube, started putting up content. I didn't even have a Facebook page. I had a YouTube account first. They got me monetized, and they put me into this Black Creators Fellowship on YouTube, and I started making money from YouTube. And then I like really was like, shit. I was working at Papados and making YouTube videos.
You worked at I worked for Papa's for a number of years myself.
Yeah, I was in management program, and it's like all this ties together to this one key moment. You asked me about how I made money and what was profitable. My last customer was none other than Sweet James Jones himself, Pimp C. 2006, he just came home. He's over there at Papados, a.k.a. Ngados. And he's like, you do comedy? Why don't you just go on out there and do comedy full time? You should be comedying right now. And I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, it don't work like that. I don't think you just can't just leave. Nah, you can leave. I'm gonna introduce some people tonight. Leave, come to the video shoot. Video shoot is Get Throwed. Bun B, Pimp C, Zero, T.I., Jay-Z never was there, and Jeezy. I go to the video shoot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going back to Papa Do's. I'm hanging out with T.I. Like, no, why am I going back? I put that video online, got semi-viral. I made enough money to pay my rent, and I was just like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Make videos, tell jokes, talk shit. And I didn't go back to Papa Do's no more. And God rest his soul, thank you PMC for giving me that added courage to just walk away and not come back. So like once I started making money from YouTube, it was over. Started selling dope. I did that for a while. That was just like it's like a gamble. Like nobody's arresting you for YouTube videos.
Yeah. No,
and it was just fun. 2011, I did a video with Lena Waithe called "Shit Black Girls Say." She gave me the concept for it. It went viral. We had like 1,000 different parodies of our video. Gave me multiple opportunities, and it's just like me putting my funny ideas on paper and then putting them on camera and then putting them on the internet. Changed my life. So,
yeah, you were doing it before a lot of other people were.
All these are my sons. All of them. All of your favorite creators. They're my children.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, well, actually, we could go ahead and talk about that.
Talk about all that.
We can.
you throw the questions out there.
Yeah, since we're on the topic of content development, and one big reason, other than I've known you for a few years, and I think you're super funny, and I knew that you were a fan of sports. I knew that you created the post-game interview skits, and they're hilarious, and that was back in 20.
I started doing those videos in 2012.
In 2012, okay.
I'm a severe Kobe Bryant fan. Shout out to the Laker Nation that is out here watching this franchise. You can thank Steve Francis and Cuttino Mobley as well. I'm no longer a Rockets fan. Steve Francis, me and him got into an altercation at M-Bar.
Oh man, M-Bar, that's some weird. Yeah.
Milkshake, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to punch him in his old ass bodyguard. Crack did the work for me that I didn't need to do. So thank you, Crack cocaine.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so the post-game interview sketch, it was very popular, very funny. And I actually have some scenarios, but before we get to that, there was another comedy show, the Black Lady Sketch Show, and I know you had some controversy with them because they sort of.
Here's what I think about that. So, of course, Black Lady Sketch Show, phenomenally popular show, Emmy-winning show. This is award-winning at this point. And I had people hit me up like, "Yo, congratulations on your Emmy. I know you got one for writing on the show." And I'm like, "What you talking about?" Now I'm not watching the show fanatically like that. So I'm getting it. This is my second time dealing with this. I take you back to a year of 2011. I created a web series called Man Code, and basically it's me and my good friend Derek Sleazy Evans talking about things men shouldn't do. It started from a series of blogs that I would write online on Facebook, and then I did dramatizations and act outs, and then I kind of made memes when memes really wasn't memes. It was still like just content. I was tweeting about it, and so we did these act out. It went viral. It got on World Star. Shout out Trey the Truth, who before I got super cool with Zero, Trey and I were a lot closer. And we fell out kind of behind Lil Duval because I was on the road working with Lil Duval, and then he and Charlamagne got a show opportunity called God Code at MTV, which was basically a longer format version of what I was doing on my show. And it hurt me because I'm like, yo, we tour, we do stuff together. You seen me do this, like, hey, just include, like, let's have a conversation.
That was Duval and
Charlamagne.
Oh, it's Charlamagne.
So, right.
Okay.
So they weren't the creators of the show, but the faces of the show as far as talent went. And there was so much that I had to learn about that part of the business. But I did have my stuff protected. I filed an injunction against MTV for infringement of a creative idea. While the injunction was in place, I learned that how conglomerates or how Viacom works as a company. Like, hey, the things that you see that gets put out or rehashed or remade, Viacom is all one company. So MTV, BET, CMT, Cartoon Network, Comedy Central. If you have an injunction against one facet of the network, you can't work or be on anything else. Yep. So I had opportunities at BET for a show, which I had to forego until the injunction was done. And they ended up working out a contract with me in a settlement to be able to do their red carpet hosting for BET. And I did that for about 10 years. Great opportunity. And so, like, it opened up the door for me to meet content creators. So when this happened to me again, it hurt me because I'm like, damn, like, yo. But it was a part of kind of like why I kind of fell back from making sketches, because I just felt like, yo, I'm making some dope shit because I love it, and people are monetizing on it, and I should just keep my ideas to myself, not online for just fans. And that doesn't depend. The fans don't really gain from that. And then the opportunities that are presented for the ladies who are on the show and shit, like, those are dope opportunities. So it's like those catch-22 situations. It's like, is this not a good opportunity for black women to have an opportunity? I mean, yeah. But then I also kind of in that process found out how many ideas from black women and female comedians were being poached and taken for this show, and they weren't getting that credit.
Wow.
Yeah. Got my goddamn Instagram shadow banned for about 7 months. And it was just funny. It was just one of the things. It was like, all right, man. HBO had so much money tied up into it. It was their most popular comedy show next to Issa Rae's programming. And, you know, you live and you learn so much. Yeah. It's like, all right, did I want people to see my idea? Did I want people to connect to it? Yeah. Well, then I have no control over where it goes. It goes back to what we were talking about before the cameras come on. Like, hey, when God got a plan for what you do, you just put the idea out. If that's what they needed to make that better, to get them where they needed to go, to complete something else, then I did what I needed to do. Do I need the credit? Our ego tells us that we need that credit. Our ego tells us that we need that acknowledgement. But that's not what it's for. Like, if you know,
I'm gonna give you the credit because I know it's your idea. So I'm gonna give you the credit. Okay, so let's talk about, because the wildly popular show that you were on, I think 2 seasons, Wildin' Out.
Yeah, wrote for the show for like 4 seasons, did 2, and it was just like the bane of my existence being on Wildin' Out.
Really?
No, the show's fucking great.
Yeah.
The cast is fucking great. It's great. All my friends are on the show.
Yeah.
I was married.
Okay.
You have the most beautiful women in the world. Thank you, Nick Cannon. From like every crevice. It's like, just imagine going to work and it's just like, hey, is that Miss Universe runner-up? Yeah, she just became Wild Out Girl. It's like, okay, she should have won. I saw you on the show. Can I take a picture with you, Billy? I like, yeah. Ooh, I mean, do you want to have sex? I think it would be great if we do connect our energies. Maybe the funny would transfer. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess. I mean, can my wife watch on FaceTime? I mean, I got kind of an open swinger type thing going on. Like, so long as you can watch. Like, it's just fine if you want someone to join. I have a friend. Like, bruh, how do you? It's never land, bro. Like it's people that go there and never leave, and it's like, I got kids, I got daughters. Like, I will be there and I'll be like, what life? Like, what?
Yeah,
like,
you get caught up in it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Houston. We got bad women everywhere, and it's like, but then they just, that shit was crazy.
So obviously, like, the object of the show was like roasting, a lot of roasting, and so. And to me, roasting is like a sport. So I thought it was very appropriate.
Roasting is life. when we pitched the show, Roast Me to Russell Simmons, man, and All Def Digital, a great network. Shout out my man Cedric Rogers. Shout out Brandon Lewis, Patrick Cloud, Craig Smith, Brandon Lewis, man, bro, CP, Doughboy. All the guys on this show, man, that just make Roast Me what it is. Like, yo, that shit is just like another example of like people having fun, turn the camera on, and it just started from us bagging on each other all the time, and that's what we used to do. And it started going viral. 10, 11, 13 million views on the show. And I got more people who tell they see me on Roast Me than they see on my podcast or even on Wilding Out. It's like that show just goes.
Yeah.
Like I go to the airport and this dude, the TSA agent, man, I'm gonna check your bag. By the way, what the hell them shoes is, boy? Police officers roast me like you never get pulled over. HPD and the cops like, hey, let me see your license and your hairline, toupee having there, nigga. So I'm like, oh shit, you roasted. So now we roasted.
Oh, so that's what we're doing now. No ticket, right?
Bruh, it's got me out of so much shit. Like,
so okay, do you remember who's roasted you the worst? And like, do you remember like what was
there
said?
are 2 people.
Okay.
Maybe 3. Like there's, you know what? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a treat. Making a live edit right now on the show, Holly Heat, just exclusive. Me having an all-out war of roasting against DC Young Fly and Emmanuel Hudson off the set after hours. We going at it. And then I'll show you some of the best roasts that I've been hit with on the show Roast Me. Exclusively right here. She gonna get this. This is all because this is my homie right here. This is all because of her. Y'all get to see this. Check this out.
Honored.
That nigga Billy got on a Nia Long wig.
You always so what? You always so dope.
Yeah, Billy freeballing.
Hey, nigga Billy got hair. That nigga Billy got hair like a puppy tummy.
All right, man, we're gonna switch the hot seat up, man. Coming to the hot seat, man, all the way from Houston, Texas. Y'all give it up for Billy Sorrells.
Hey, bad bitch alert. Bad bitch alert. Y'all gonna stop this shit.
Billy dressed like pedophile bait.
Come on over here.
I got Jolly Ranchers in my van, Billy.
Billy cut his cocaine with glitter before he sniffed it.
If Billy wasn't wrestling, his finishing move would be a booty bite. Ellis said Billy got dressed listening to Wild Thoughts. When I'm with you, all I need is Wild Thoughts.
Fuck you, Gerald. Wild thought.
Hey, that's funny. So what you think? They throw my ass up.
Yeah. That was something else. That was something else.
Ain't Shit John is also a good roaster. Although his roast aren't as highbrow. He knows me personally, so he just knows when to say some. Shout out my boy Ain't Shit John.
Yeah.
John Roshine, you ain't shit.
He ain't shit. He ain't shit.
But he's a Cowboys fan, so it's all good.
Well, exactly. That's another reason why
Thank
I
you.
say.
Cowboys. God bless the Dallas Cowboys.
All right. So, is there anything that we don't know, like, about, like, Wildin' Out? Like, something that the fans don't know that you would be like, that they would be surprised to know about Wildin' Out? Or is it all kind of like trade secrets? You're not allowed to.
No. For it to be as successful as it is, each episode is actually like 2.5 to 3 hours long. So I want you to understand, like, you're watching a 30, which cuts down to 22 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's 2.5 to 3 hours of us, like, really going at it. Every episode. So just think, like, and it ain't even the best moments in the edit of the show. Like, there's a format. You need this many things to make the show format. And some stuff just is like, yo, it's stuff that doesn't get cleared, like S&P. Standards and practices kills more comedy. Now, if it was on the internet, if they did an internet version where it was like, yo, this for the internet. But Viacom is such a big company and they have so many advertisers, like, they just can't take that risk. But it's shit that's like, yo, that'll never see the light of day, but that shit was fucking funny in the moment. Now Evans, he's you wouldn't know it. Bentley Evans, who was one of the head writers and creators of Martin's show, his nephew Now Evans is really the driving force behind the show next to Nick Cannon, because, like, you didn't think that Martin and Wildin' Out would have a correlation, but it is. Like, so when you look at the tone of how physically animated the people are, or how lively, or how you can watch an episode of Wildin' Out from like 10 years ago and it still feels funny, because that comedic brain and tone is set from Now Evans and Bentley Evans. Like, Bentley trained Now was working on the Jamie Foxx show and Martin, and then Wildin' Out. So You can always feel that high energy, good spirited. Like it just plays well.
Yeah.
It's a arduous process to do the show. It's like NFL training camp. The episodes are competitive. Like you can get your episodes taken. Audition for the show 3 times. Nick didn't pick me because I was arrogant. Like time 1 and 2, and I toured with Nick. Like would write shit for him and went on tour with him in college tour. And I was on this Funniest Win show with me, Tiffany Haddish, my boy Sidney Castillo, and Christina Pazisky, who is Tom Segura's wife. If you ever heard of Tom Segura, he's hilariously funny. But I came from that show working with Marlon Wayans and was like, I'm finna kick these motherfuckers' ass. And so I show up, I got this leather jacket on, these gloves, and I'm killing. And he's like, yo, that's not the show. You just being great isn't the show. Which is different from stand-up. It's kind of like, if there was a way to relate it to something, it's more like wrestling. It's like synchronized dancing, because it's like, yo, it doesn't matter who gets the joke off. It matters, does that make the show better?
Yeah.
And that unselfishness is kind of something we tried to parlay into making Roast Me, and it kind of helped me out a lot as a talent. Like, yo, sometimes just some jokes that's just about me. I'm not actually saying something funny about somebody else, but the objective is for people to watch the show and laugh.
Enjoy it, yeah.
Fuck, if it's funny, you let the person have that moment.
It's not as much. It's a competition, but you're really it all has to flow together.
Right. Thou shalt not be mean. Thou shalt, think outside the box. And they just got a great format. They well over 200 episodes now, 300 episodes. For that to be a Black produced show, like, is unheard of. So, like, congratulations, man. Keep killing. That shit is dope. What else? Oh, all the games are musically inclined. Like, if you just didn't know that, like,
what do you mean?
There's other comedians who are funny, but you can't just be funny and be on the show. You have to be musically talented. Like, it won't work if you don't know how to rap, sing, take a chance on, like it just stretches more than just a regular comedic muscle. And that's like something that really helped me with my music. Nick put me with a guy, King Los. I was struggling doing like my raps, not because I couldn't rap, but because rapping and then making it funny. Like, from Houston, we freestyle all day long. Yeah. But we ain't trying to crack jokes necessarily in the freestyle. We just vibing.
It just goes down. That's all. It goes down.
Right. On the show, it's just going down. You know
it's going down.
And it's not about that on the show. It's like, give me something about this dude right now. And I think, like, the Houston nature of us, bro, we're just so well put together. Like, look how you dressed. Like, look how we carry ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Think about the people from Houston that are successful. Beyonce looks fucking
top tier.
Great. Top tier. Or we can go to Toby. Even with his independence, his mint green shit just be flawless. You know what I'm saying? Slim, always fly. Bun, Pimp C, always fly. You know what I'm saying? Kiki, his swag, always fly. So, like, we well polished, well put together. Our cars, our clothes, nothing about us is dusty. Nothing about us is. But on this show, it's like, nah, that don't matter. Yeah. Give me, like, take the joke, like, fail, like, and it just it's a heavy ass show. Like, I learned a whole hell of a lot.
It sounds like a lot more than I would anticipate from like, just having an outsider looking in. That's why I wanted to know, because I'm like, I'm sure it's a lot we don't know about it.
He made me make a poem about orange soda in an audition.
Just okay.
Now make a 2-minute rap about orange soda. Like, if y'all had a beat playing, I could rap about anything. Y'all could literally, as producers, come up with something and I could rap about it, just because that's what training camp would be. Yeah. Rapping all day long. Making jokes all day long. Trying, failing all day long. But that makes Nick Cannon just a phenomenal person to work with. Like, yeah. Probably why he got a lot of baby mamas.
I don't know if that, because he's phenomenal to work with. Well, I guess
he's a leader. Like, he's you got to think, this dude is when he was in high school, he was a VP at Nickelodeon. Like, he might be like, oh, that nigga corny, but it's like, he's a good boss.
Oh, I would definitely not say that because I know everything what he's accomplished, and he's making.
You got a brain, but dudes be like, oh, he corny. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, chicks was calling him corny, and now they like, they kind of.
Yeah. Nah, he got his shit together, like for real. So, yeah. Well, my other question for you is: you were in the Yo Gotti video, going down in the DM. Great video. I was like, look at Billy. And I want to know, although this isn't an after dark show, but I want to know, what is the craziest DM that you've gotten? It doesn't have to be like the most,
No,
like raunchy, but like the craziest DM. Because I get some crazy DMs, and I'm, just.
I would have to say the craziest DMs came after that video came out.
I imagine so.
So let's just paint this picture. I've been married at the time that the video came out. I've been married almost 4 years. I got a newborn baby. My wife at the time is pregnant again. I do the video for a day. She's on set, has like morning sickness, has to leave. And I come home. I'm oblivious to Snapchat. My wife at the time was like, no, you're not getting no Snapchat. Like, there's no reason for you to be on there. And if you need a page just to have one, I'll set it up and run it for you.
Yeah. So
she sets my Snapchat up. I got it on my phone, but she's logged into my Snapchat on her phone. Man, I don't go on there because I don't have no reason. Like, that's the devil. But if you want to follow Billy Sorrells on Snapchat, you can. I was using this program called Hootsuite to post to my Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. So when the video comes out, of course, I post and it goes to all my platforms. Just like I took video before the show today. So whenever this comes out, I'm going to post about like it's happening in real time. I know how that works. Man, I didn't know DJ Khaled was big on Snapchat, first of all. So he had the same ideology. He has all these videos of me clowning, and I'm just thinking he recorded me having a good time on set. I'm on his page on like 28 posts. He tagging me, my Snapchat going through the fucking roof. And I don't know it because I don't got the app on my actual phone. It's on my iPad and something else.
Right. And your wife has it.
My wife got it on her phone.
Yeah, she got it on her phone.
So one of my wife's friends slid in my DM.
No.
One of my college female professors, a teacher from high school,
oh no.
a local judge.
Oh no! It's all bad.
So
Snapchat brought everybody out.
I'm
thinking you're safe.
Yeah, so like literally at the time the video comes out, we in training camp for Wildin' Out, and I come home tired, my wife pregnant, I kiss the baby, we laying in bed, I fall asleep, and then I feel this burning like in my eye.
Oh gosh.
And so I'm like, damn, my eye's burning. I'm like, damn. And so it's like fire feels like. So I'm like, babe, my eye's burning. What's going on? She's like, oh, what's wrong? Let me see. And so I jump up, I flip the lamp on, and I'm like, yo, my eye's just burning. It's burning. She's like, let me see. And like, I'm holding my eye open. I'm like, look, can you blow in it? And she's like, yeah, I'll blow in it. Hold your eye open. And I hold my eye open, and she's like,
what?
Fucked up. These bitches is like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I ain't do it. I'm half asleep, confused, I'm getting my ass whooped. So now I'm just like, what is it? You want these bitches like you? I'm leaving. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, yo, DMs is like popping. That's what. Oh, go live with Gotti then. So,
go live with Gotti.
Yo, she's pregnant, whooping my ass. And so at the time, she was on this. She had been doing Gracie Jiu-Jitsu MMA training, and she had been a contestant on this WWE show. So she like knows how to wrestle. Like,
oh
she
no.
She's a small, petite, beautiful woman, and she's beating my ass. She like chopped me in my throat. It's like, domestic abuse, but
yeah.
But it's like
I shouldn't be laughing because that definitely is domestic abuse,
but I'm like, I didn't do it. So then she shows me, and I'm like, yo, I didn't do nothing. I don't even have the app on my phone. Like, did you see me even say anything? And she was like, well, if you did, it probably would disappear. I'm like,
Disappear,
I don't have
right.
the app on my phone. Like, if you read it, wouldn't have disappeared. If I read it, wouldn't have disappeared. You couldn't have read it as a new message.
Right.
So she kind of like calmed down. And I'm just like, man. But I went to Wild 'N Out the next day. I get out the car, get into class, and everybody's like, who got in a fight with? You know, and like, I got a black eye. Had no idea. My eyes black. But a dude with a black eye is just like, oh,
yeah, you got in a fight.
Like,
yeah.
who did that? And it was like, yeah, I get my wife. And it was like, damn.
Damn.
Laughing.
Right.
But that shit was nuts, bruh. Like,
Yeah.
nuts, man. I had no idea. Yo Gotti was so cool. He just like, yo, whatever you want to do, man, it's just your time to shine. And I'm just like, what? Like, shine? I'm like, all right. YG is in the video.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly is in there. CeeLo is in there. And it just, like, cemented so many good relationships that I had. And Ray Shrimmer, both of them are in there. Slim Jimmy, Sway Lee. And we just had
it's like a staple of pop culture. Like, it goes down in the DMs. Like, it's always gonna go down in the DMs. Like,
I didn't really get my DMs fully popping because, you know, me just being married, it was just like so much like, hey, family man, stop.
Yeah.
But after.
I can only imagine. So,
What else you got, Holly? I'm here for
Well-
it. I'm an open book, baby.
well, we are gonna play some games here in a minute, but I don't know if you have it in you. But I had a few post-game interview scenarios. I want to see if you have a little, you know, what would your post-game interview be like in the following scenarios?
All right.
Holly of the Hot Seat with Holly Heat. So what happened out there tonight?
I had about $20 left on my EBT. They had that pick 5 up there at HEB today. So I need to make sure I got there. You know, you get 5 pieces of meat, for $20. And that was going to put me over the limit. As I'm coming through the parking lot, I'm not handicapped, but today I felt handicapped. And I was going for what I knew. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's 98 degrees outside. Should nobody handicapped really be out at that time? Like, why are you out? If you handicapped, you should be at home watching Oprah. I saw the parking spot, and I saw that there was possibly a handicapped person trying to get that spot as well. But he didn't have nothing hanging up. I looked at the front plate, looked at the top, didn't see that. I did see a wheelchair in the back, but at that point, it was me versus him. Instinct took over. I slid into it. I am driving Denali. He was in a Prius, and it really just came down to who felt like they had better insurance. As I'm getting to the parking spot, I saw him look. He had his blinker on, but I had my emergency blinker on, which supersedes one blinker point for the spot. Emergency means I got to get in there right now. Also, I had the boo-boo. Those tacos from the taco stand ran through me, and instinct took over. They had avocados and jalapeno ranch sauce on top of them, and when you talking about independently made tacos, you're talking about a different type of boo-boo that's pushing through. So I couldn't go on that run, because I had the runs. So when I slid into the spot, he looked at me and he waved his fists, and then he just kept driving, and then he said, "You take my spot," and I was like, I can't hear, because at that point my handicap was gonna be I'm deaf. I didn't hear him. And so once I got inside, I hit that AC. Parking was there. I took it. I made it happen. Wasn't afraid to go there. Another question? What you got?
Yeah. How were the lines inside the store?
I thought you were talking about the lines I did in the car of cocaine. No. What I really saw was, maybe you thought you was talking about the lines that I didn't care about parking over, because at that point, when you are pretending to be handicapped, who cares about lines? Yes, I was over in the other side, but that other car was a scooter. And I'm like, scooter don't need a whole parking spot. You should have parked on the curb. So I slabbed out, as they call it, slow, loud, and banging, all in my trunk. Trunk full of funk. I ain't never been in funk. I blow on smoke. I blow on Doja. Military minded, I'm a motherfucking soldier. And when the handicapped person, when I came back out the store, looked at me again, I said, out the streets of the Richmond foe. Not no bitch. And I still ain't a hoe. And you know the rest at that point. Shout out to Zero. in what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Any more questions on that one?
No more questions for me.
No problem. I would like to say before we get out of here about that parking situation. He did find parking down in that first row. You know, it wasn't quite handicapped, but the way he was pushing that wheelchair didn't look like he was that handicapped. So I'm gonna have y'all say that.
Thank you.
All right. What's the next one?
Oh my God. Well, we could do just one more. The got pulled over but managed not to get a ticket, or your daughter brings her first boyfriend home.
I feel like got pulled over but didn't get a ticket.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead while you got the siren playing.
All right. Oh. Did you say no, Adrian?
Hold on. Let me put the fade out a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. You in the front.
Holly with Hot Seat with Holly Heat.
Oh, good to see you again. I think I've seen you before.
Yeah.
Have I seen you before?
Yeah.
I think I have. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Love your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
What you got?
So, tell me what happened the other night.
Oh, first of all, I just want to say to those of people who are watching this right now, I need you to understand that it's not about how you play, it's about how you practice. A lot of times people ain't practicing. I spent countless hours riding rear view. And, you know, some of y'all I've seen have given up on that tactic. Like, hey, you know, I still ride rear view, boom. I don't care what's back there. You might be a Crown Vic, might be a Mexican driving a Caprice, might be somebody who bought a cop car from an auction. I still give all them cars respect. So, and now when I saw that, you know, because once Houston Police Department switched over from that blue, went to that black and white, then they went to those flat black cars, you know, I kind of knew how to deal with that. The new HPD cars also looked like my baby mama cars, so it already had me on high alert. When he got behind me, I knew he was gonna hit the switch. It was just a matter of time. So immediately, what I'm doing is I'm taking all drugs and putting them in my bottle of Coca-Cola Classic. That should be in the car at all times. You flushed all paraphernalia into that Coca-Cola Classic, which is right here. You know, this will save your life. This is the difference between going to prison and making it home. Because who's worried about the ticket? I can go sit in Macau, and there but drunk people in Macau. I'm fine sitting down in Macau. I've actually been doing that since I was 18. But once you have to get put in another car for that county charge for that possession, that changes your life dynamic drastically. So I got the Coca-Cola Classic. I'm pouring the Coke, riding rear view, throwing it in there, drinking what I can. You know what I'm saying? And why am I drinking this and taking this risk? Because I'm a gremlin. Part of being able to not go to jail is being a gremlin at all times. So when the police officer finally decided to pull me over, all paraphernalia was gone. I had drank as much of the Coca-Cola as I could. And then I got my seatbelt on. And I'm ready to go through my motions. I had practiced this. So I pulled over, sat calmly, hands on the steering wheel at all times. If you're black, hands on the steering wheel. Even if they say to take your hands off the steering wheel, don't take your hands off the steering wheel. As soon as the police officer, I already had my window down because I ain't gonna get shot rolling the window down. I had the back window down. And you know, a thing that I also do that people need to know to make it home after a night of dealing with the police. You know, people think, oh, I need to ride with, you know, not having windows tinted. You know, keep a cap full of glitter. So I threw the glitter on my face. Immediately threw the glitter on my face. So when he hit me with that light, my face got glitter on it. You know what he says? This is a gay man. This all changes into a whole different demographic. I'm in a whole different demo now. So I'm here, wrist broke, on there, glitter on my face. What's the problem, officer? He immediately was like, hey, man, I thought you went. I was like, what's the problem? That's a nice outfit. I gave him 2 compliments immediately. I like your haircut. Now at this point, how many compliments do you want to take to ask me about my registration? You know what I'm saying? Because I know my registration no good. I know I ain't got no insurance. You know, so, and then, you know, I immediately got to throw him off with some more compliments. Is that like a medium or a large? Like, I'm gonna get my boyfriend that, and my side nigga, he about your size. Is that a taper? Like, do you got Duke? Like, you know, do you have Indian in your family? The compliments are going. And I know he recording this. So, you know, when the tape get played back, it's clear that I'm flirting with him. So if he does try to shoot me, it's a hate crime. And that's 50 years to life if he do something to me messed up. You know what I'm saying? It's even better when it's white dudes. Now, when it's a white cop, you never know. You might find one of them village people cops that's like, yes, I like your hair. No, I like your hair. Now you in a compliment standoff. And but ultimately, it's about making it home and not getting that ticket. I take a phone number. I wouldn't take a ticket. I'm flirting for a phone number. I'm going for the goal. And I had already practiced this. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking at me trying to get ready to ask me. And every time he wants to ask me about the insurance, he says, I need to see your license. So I hand him my license. Now, what you got to do is, I had practiced this several times. My license ain't going to be where it would normally be. I'm not reaching down. I'm not reaching over. Nobody is shot when you reach on top of your shirt like this in my invisible bra. I say it's in my bra. Can I get it? So I reached over the top to hand him that. And I was like, I got a little breast sweat on it, but that's my license. So he's now, oh, this boy tripping. When I heard him say that, I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We on to something here. You know what I'm saying? And so he turns, I need to go run this. And as I look back, I was like, ooh, I was like, get it, bitch. So when I said get it, bitch, when he's walking to the car, he turned back around and was like, hey, man, I'm going to say, just hold on. Now it's just on the clock. You know, what can I do to up the ante in this situation? Because I don't want this ticket. Things you need to keep in your car on top of glitter and a Coca-Cola. I had some Carmex, you know what I'm saying? Some like Carmex lip, you know, gloss. Yeah. I'm glossing that. I'm in the beard. I'm putting gloss on my eyes. I'm re-emphasizing that gloss. So when he comes back to the car, I'm all in it. What you need to do, don't play gospel music because you don't know what his faith base is. Anything from the Lemonade album, you know what I'm saying? Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? I got that on like volume 8. Like I'm trying to bust my speakers. So when he come back, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Can I get your cherry on the right? You know, so now he see that. He's just like, hey, man, I just need you to slow it down a little bit. You got your insurance. And I was like, my boyfriend said that he was going to get it, but I'm not sure. Can you call him for me? My phone did. And I'm like, you know, let me put the number in your phone. He was like, nah, man, don't even. Just go ahead, drive. So, you know, don't never fly off. Like, don't never, even if they did not give you a ticket. Let them go ahead and leave first. And so as he passes by me, I hit that boy with the deuce out the roof, like this here. And, you know, it's all about going home, like committing to having that discipline. I wasn't in jail. I wasn't going to be nobody's bitch, although I had to act like a bitch to get out that bitch. Another question.
Do you have any plans of updating your registration or your insurance now?
Who has insurance? People still do that?
I think there are people that have insurance still.
I thought people just use Photoshop. I didn't know that people actually still had insurance.
Oh.
Yeah, white. Do I actually have insurance? You have insurance?
I have insurance.
You're white.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Hot Seat with Holly Heat. I am your host, Holly Heat. I am here still with Billy Sorrells, and that was so much fun. Yeah, Thank you for doing that.
Listen, I mean, I'm glad I did it because I have been holding off from just doing any of it. So thank you for encouraging me and giving me the environment and just the comfort. The whole squad here got something out of me that I hadn't done in shit. What is this? Going on 8 years.
Well, you're still at the top of your game because that was really great. You even have my 14-year-old over there cracking up, which is hard to do.
You know that's the best challenge as a father. I haven't talked to. A shout out to all my kids. I need to say this now. Shout out to all my kids: Blair, Kylie, Amethyst, Indigo, Baby Billow, Daddy love all y'all. My starting 5. Shout out to all of them.
Yeah, you got a whole squad there.
Yeah, 4 girls, 1 boy. He's the baby.
Yeah.
And it's like making my kids laugh and being able to connect with them is one of those things that keeps me, I feel like, sharp. Because it's like my kids make, as much as I'm aware, they even more aware of different stuff. So it's like it's always a new thing to try to do. So like, yo, shout out to my kids, man. Kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to my kid too, that hates that I drag her hair sometimes, but she's a good sport. So on the hot seat with Holly Heat, we play games because it's all about sports. It's about
in a relationship now, Holly plays games. So let's let's make sure she's keeping it a buck here today.
I didn't mean like that, but
I mean, you know, if you date a woman now, the gameplay gonna be played. You know, like I accept it.
see, I see how you just turned that around on me there. But anyway,
You can't look at you. You look great. You
Well,
gotta
thank
play
you.
some games. You can't let everybody through. You gotta, screen some people.
Okay.
Run some
So,
viewers, some
okay.
misdirections.
You're making me rethink this. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
So I know that you kind of turned over a new leaf and you're very peaceful, but in the past you have.
Fuck all that. I'm still with the street shit.
But-
Now, shout out to all my crib homies out there. Shout out to all my 6 niggas. Hey, listen, shout out my fraternity brothers. Hey, listen, bro. Shout out to the whole Mutant Gang. I got a record label. I got pit bulls. I got dogs. I don't know what they got to do with like being tough, but I just want to make sure I emphasize that part.
They kind of go hand in hand.
I got a cane Corso.
Oh, canes. Yeah, they're beautiful dogs.
Look,
Well,
shout out to all the mutants out there. Gab, Brazo, Jay Vinci, London Bayou, man. Shout out, man. The whole squadron. Murder, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you gotta do it in your squad,
Yeah.
murder, that's it.
yeah,
That's
got to
it.
keep one. Well, so this first game that we're going to play, it's called Holly Heat's Punch Out. And because, you may or may not have had some beefs currently or in the past, I thought it was an appropriate thing. So we're going to match up two celebrities or athletes, and you're going to tell me who you would think is going to win in a fight. So first and foremost, we have, actually, let me start it.
I still want to fight
We're gonna
Steve
start
Francis. You bitch, whenever. I don't give a fuck about your goddamn affliction to drugs. I'll give you some drugs and whoop your ass. Let's get with it. I still want it. From 2003 on to now. Still, let's get to it. Don't try and, like, Steve Francis. It is what it is. Shaq, try to holler at my wife when we was married, nigga. I don't want to hear all this. You turned over a new leaf shit, got a new foot. I don't give a damn about none of that. I'll still dog walk your big ass. I'm not tripping on you. Who else?
Steve and Shaq, I both would like to invite you on my show. I don't subscribe to the opinions of my guests tonight. Come on my show. I'll give you a platform to respond to these these things. All right.
This is what it is.
All right. This is Holly Heat's Punch Out, and our first matchup. Okay, this might or might not be somebody that you've had, like a little internet beef with here. We have B. Simone and Just Hilarious. Who do you think will win in a fight?
See, let me tell you something. First of all, they're not going to fight. It just,
Okay.
But if they
well,
were.
but if they were.
Pay-per-view? Like,
Okay.
this is a good call, man. Shit. It's just like, fuck, that's a good matchup. Like, yeah. Like, baby girl. Like, yeah. And, like, Jess is so real and so raw. We argued. Like, so I said I was going to rob her, but it wasn't specifically her.
Oh, okay.
And to clear this up, because, just out here on the internet.
Yeah.
Playroom.
So to make it
50
clear.
Cent. This one clear this up right
Oh,
now.
that's going to come up too. We have 50 coming in here.
I just want to say, I kind of feel like B. Simone might get the best of Jess.
Really?
We'll let you know why. First of all, she's from Dallas, Texas.
Okay. Yeah, she is from
I
Dallas.
want you to look at her face.
She
And
looks
think
happy.
about how much shit she be talking.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that her face still look good. Meaning that she ain't had no problem jumping out there with somebody ass. And she not nobody to play with. She heavy-handed as hell.
Oh.
And Dallas, Texas. I'm just gonna keep saying that. So I can't go like Look, man.
So B.
her
Simone.
parent- I'm giving it B. Simone.
Okay.
I know y'all think Baltimore, she just going. It's gonna be a good fight. But something in me
Okay.
says that, you know, B. Simone is a pastor's child. She got God on her side. So she's anointed while she's punching baby girl. Like, I don't care. I'm not afraid. Like,
All right, let's see our next ones here. We have
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence.
Eddie with Martinez.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Any
I just
reasoning
need you to
behind it?
understand, like, the immense amount of shape that Eddie Murphy still is in right now with 11 kids.
11.
Listen, I think he was fucking Nicole Murphy every day for about 13 years.
And she looks great.
Like, and then just like the amount of training he do. Then you gotta think Charlie Murphy was his brother. They wouldn't fuck like the Murphy brothers, dog. Like, don't think because they was on some funny shit. Like the nigga wore leather, like in
Was.
80s leather. Like when it was. Hey, I love Martin to death. My money on Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy still get it with his ass.
All right, we have Mariah Carey and
Tony Braxton.
Tony Braxton. Wow, that was a quick.
Yeah, you ain't got it.
Okay.
Shout out my homegirl Tamar, the Braxtons. It's like whenever they got a lot of sisters like that, they fight for
okay.
real. Like,
Okay.
I ain't never heard of who's Mariah Carey's sister. Like nobody.
Yeah.
Like who's you practicing with? Like who's you getting whooped on? Like she done took some L's. Like Tony took some L's that nobody ever hear about and gave some W's. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Okay.
skip
All
that.
right, now we're at 50 in the game. This is who will win in the fight. So.
You can say what you want to say about him.
Okay.
You can say he used to be a stripper. You can say he got a star on his face.
You got to make a
But
living.
Make no mistake. One of the early pioneers of whooping niggas with the phone in his hand. Like, if you haven't seen him whoop 40 Glock. Like, he whooped 40 Glock and his partner, but he had the phone on when he did it. So, if y'all want to insert that footage. 50, you know, been shot, but, you know what I'm saying, I don't really know what that really qualifies as far as how tough he is. Now, at the game, got a longer reach, probably just better overall shape, just, my money's on the game.
Okay.
In the fist fight.
I mean, that's fair. All right. We have Peyton Manning and Troy Aikman of your Dallas Cowboys.
I'm going against Troy Aikman. I'm going with Peyton Manning. Anybody hit?
Yeah.
Ooh, that goddamn big. You know, that forehead. Again, you know, you put that head on somebody.
Is it a
that
headbutt
neck.
situation?
Yeah, it's a headbutt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of head to hit, to punch.
Yeah.
Troy just, you know, I don't know. You was asking me who had a better haircut. It would be Troy Aikman. But
Yeah, clearly. Yeah,
fist
for
fight,
sure.
Peyton Manning.
Okay. All right. We have Brandon Marshall and Ryan Clark. You know,
Brandon
there's a
Marshall.
split
I'm going
between the
Brandon
pivot
Marshall.
and I Am Athlete. Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall.
Okay. Okay.
You goddamn
fair.
beast. Let's
Yeah.
not play with Brandon Marshall. What else you got?
Okay. All right. We have Nick Saban and Bill Belichick.
Let me tell you something. You gotta have a lot of fight in you to keep niggas in check. And Belichick, Greg Popovich, it's something else. It's some other white boy, like, inner beast. Like they play with Nick Saban. You know, they be like, coach, you know, like, you ain't never seen Bill Belichick laughing at that bullshit. Like, you know, fuck, like
I don't think he's ever laughed before.
Man, like, we just won a Super Bowl. I was like, I'm ready to get back. We got to look at some film. Like, Nick Saban be in the locker room, like, laughing and shit. And they be like, you know, Nick Saban look like he still get pussy. Like, Bill Belichick looked like he's refused to fuck his wife because he had game film to watch. Like, Bill Belichick looked like he tells his wife he got a headache. Bill Belichick looked like he doesn't see the purpose. Like if his wife don't give him head, he make her run laps. Like that's how serious Bill Belichick is. It's like he's just a performance kind of guy. Like I don't feel like, you know.
Yeah.
No, Bill Belichick.
Okay. And then we have Terrell Owens
T.O.
and
T.O.
Okay.
T.O.
That was a quick
T.O.
answer.
Like, I mean, let's like make no mistake. There's There's T.O.
I
and
mean,
there's
he
niggas-
still runs like a.
There's T.O. and then there's niggas that mimic T.O.
Yeah.
And it's like Chad Ocho Cinco is really although you from Florida and all that shit cool, but
Yeah.
T.O. is a goddamn dog and still talking shit. And, they played on the same team at the time. And so T.O. was still T.O. on the team with Ocho Cinco. Like, let's not forget that when they was on the same team and on opposite ends of the line. It's a dog.
Yeah.
T.O. a dog.
I tend to agree with you. Well, thank you for playing Holly Heat's Punch Out with me. And if you want to stick around, we are going to play 3-second Jenga.
Let's do it.
And
let's do it.
hopefully I don't lose on my first episode. So we'll do that when we come back. So I've read your comments. I've heard what you've said. How can a woman possibly know anything about sports? My show, The Hot Seat with Holly Heat, is an experience for sports fans to get to know athletes, fans, and myself through an outside-the-box perspective. This fall, you'll see who sits in my hot seat. All right, back on The Hot Seat with Holly Heat. I'm your host, Holly Heat, here with Billy Sorrells, and we are going to play a guest favorite here.
Okay.
Which I'm notoriously bad at, but I'm hoping in season 2 will be new beginnings for me, and will whoop your ass tonight. So we'll see.
Let's see where this goes.
So the obviously this is Jenga, but there's a little twist to it.
Okay.
There are words written on the blocks: person, place, or thing, event, possibly. And you need to give your knee-jerk reaction to whatever's on the block.
So immediately what I think about when I see that word.
Immediately what
Copy
you think about.
that. That
Yes.
is a copy.
Now, the trick is you do have to put the block back on top. You cannot draw a block from the top because we've already gone through those. So you have to work with the bottom.
That's what she said. Okay.
Holly Heat After Dark. All right. So, and you're my guest, and because I'm hospitable, I'm going to allow you to go first. You're one of them.
Yeah, see, that's
Actually,
how you want to do
I
that.
am too.
That's
Go
what
ahead.
okay.
You're going to knock the whole thing over on the first try?
Come on now.
You can.
See, the rule, from what I understand, is you got to stay on the pin you push.
Okay, but we.
What we doing? Y'all didn't want to lube these up? You didn't spit on them?
No, I didn't.
That's what she said.
Okay, I think we should.
Come on, man.
I
That's what
think-
y'all want to do?
Find a better one.
All right.
All right.
Michael Phelps smokes weed. There we go. Let's get to it.
You're not gonna put it back on there, right? It's supposed
I
to
mean,
go like this.
okay. Shit, there we go.
I bet you don't play Uno right either, huh?
Man, listen.
They just changed the rules again on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I test them out. I don't care. It's my show.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Come on, keep pushing.
No.
There it is. Yes. Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, clown. You took an easy way out.
Shaq. Run me my fade, nigga. That's what I said.
You loosen this one up. I'm finna see. Ooh, Atlanta. My best friend lives there. She works at Magic City. Shout out to my best friend Mattel.
Yep. Guns and purses. That's all I thought about.
and
Draco. New York City. Can we say rats?
Rats. Okay.
No dental plan? I just want to throw that in for extra kick.
Michael Jordan, GOAT.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also loves white women. You wanna take
Just
that.
a little tidbit to throw in there.
His son's also fucking Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. Dwayne Wade got a beautiful daughter. We go.
Oh, okay. I could go with that. I was hoping that nobody would say anything slick about my fave.
I mean, one of my favorite players, the Heat was a favorite team of mine. Dwayne Wade's gameplay was just phenomenal.
Thank
At
you.
Marquette,
Thank you.
One of the best. LeBron also gave him a good accent, but let's not forget him and Shaq, who owes me a fade.
Yeah, you've mentioned that a few times.
Yeah.
You're about to knock it over.
That's what she said.
Okay. New Orleans. Drunk. Drunk. All right.
Kyrie, one of the best ball handlers. Some people who would ever try to say I look like him. No, I don't. But he's also an Earth is flat guy. And until he recants that statement, I really don't know where we can really go with that. It's like I just don't know where to go with that. You believe the Earth is flat, so it's like, where are we really going with this conversation? Like,
discredits everything else, or
yeah, I mean, it's like
other than
humanitarian, philanthropist, but also thinks that we're on a cylinder that is flat.
I thought he did recant it. He didn't recant it.
That's a lot to take back.
It is a lot to take back. I will say that is a lot to take back.
Mm-hmm.
I really okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
That's what she said. Yep. Drake,
the goat.
The goat of what?
The goat
Of what?
hip hop.
I mean of
hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yes. The clear goat for so many different reasons that I won't even unpack for you right now.
I mean, just give me two. Why he's a goat of hip hop?
Because he always changes it up, so he has different styles, and he keeps up with trends. And also, I think that his lyrics are top tier as well. He doesn't get enough credit because he does a lot of singing. However, his lyrics are top tier.
Okay. No argument there. Las Vegas.
Sure, you had some times in Las Vegas, because I know I have.
Suge Knight tried to kill me in Las Vegas.
Really?
It is All-Star Weekend 2006. Rick Ross, Nelly, Jermaine Dupri. Now, Jermaine Dupri and Nelly had a pajama party at the Sands Hotel. This is right before the Sands was done. And it was leading to that lack of security. They had security officers in suits and earpieces. They told Rick Ross he couldn't come in VIP. Rick Ross then left with his bodyguards, Carroll City Cartel, niggas. And this is when I first seen the niggas with the beards. And they had cut off black shirts, gloves with the fingers cut out. And they came in 15 deep, beat up all the security in there. And then Rick Ross took over the section on stage that Nelly and Jermaine Dupri had, then got on the mic, gunplay. The next night at the Palms Hotel, Puffy had a Ciroc party there. Suge Knight had just got out of jail. He was on bond. And I was with TV Johnny and Junior Martins before he was at A-Life. He was a security guard that did secure shit, just African and knew by jury. And we went there, and I was recording them, doing behind-the-scenes work with him, Paul Wall and shit. And so Johnny had popped 3 X pills and was on cocaine. I was on drugs with him, but I was recording. Yeah, and, he was walking up. Johnny Dang, at that time, his favorite thing to say was, how much you want? How much you want? How much? He would ask women that, how much you want? I'm like, bro, you can't say that shit. These black women, they get this little Chinese ass nigga. I'm not Chinese, I'm Vietnamese, bitch, he tabbed out, coked up. So I'm just like, bro, you can't say that shit, Johnny. I don't give a fuck. Johnny Dang. I'm like, bro, they are going to drag your little dick ass all through this goddamn casino. So Suge is there. He's giving Suge this piece. And so I'm with the camera. I'm recording. At the time, my camera, remember them camera lights that they used to have on, them big-ass lights? They was connected with a battery in a battery pack. It was it was a thing. So I had the camera, Suge was like, yo, I'm on bond. I'm smoking. Don't record me smoking. I'm like, cool. I cut the camera off, but the light was still on. I'm looking at Puffy. Puffy on stage dancing, doing his shit. And then I start seeing niggas with red bandanas on their slippers. Niggas was surrounding me. He was like, nigga, didn't I tell you not to record? And I'm like, okay, nigga not talking to me. He talking to somebody else. I look over there and there's nobody there. So now the nigga coming towards me, and in my mind, I'm like, this nigga to kill Tupac. So I'm gonna hit this nigga with this camera. Fuck Johnny. Johnny is running away, trying to go after some chick with a butt. And I'm just like, all right, yo, bro, Johnny. I'm like, yo, and Johnny, I know. And he said, shut up. And so, he walked off. And so I'm like, yo, I'm about to get jumped. I'm going to my yo, nigga, I can't die right here, right now. Shit, my account is in overdraft. I'm banking at the bank inside of HEB, so it's just this unsung story is fucked up. And a Samoan bodyguard by the name of Wait just grabbed me. He just picked me up. And all I could see was the blood niggas trying to punch me. And they hit him in the back of the head. And he rushes me down like 2 flights of stairs, carrying me in the camera. I see Suge, I see the bloods. And so I just took my head down. And he throws me in his limo and closes the door. And then we speed off. Johnny coked up. Why the fuck you been? I say, bitch, I'm gonna kill you. And so I tried to choke this nigga out in the car. And so Junior was like, bro, chill. I'm like, nah, nigga, you left me. I tried to tell you what was going on. I thought you want to pay. You tell you come out like, yo, bitch, that nigga. You like, so we arguing. And like, yeah, Suge Knight was gonna kill me that night. Then like the next week, he get knocked out by the dude. And it's just like, I'm glad somebody beat your ass at that. So yeah, fuck Vegas. Fuck Vegas a lot.
I don't even know where to go after that.
I need to get that out. I'm getting a lot of shit out on y'all show. I mean, I know y'all didn't ask for this shit. This shit that's coming out right now. Steve Francis, you can still get this work, nigga. Like, let's not slip with this shit. Like, let's get to it. Like, nigga, fuck the record label, nigga. Let's get to the shit popping, nigga. 2003, shit ain't changed, nigga. I'm still on. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. You thought I was a hoe, and then you had your bodyguard trying to press me, nigga. Fuck that. Let's get to it. You mad about a bitch? I wasn't even fucking with that bitch. The bitch was seeing my show, and you was mad. Nobody want to be in your bitch ass section. First of all, nigga, you ain't have a section. We was just standing at the bar. Yeah, I have my own bottle of Hypnotic, nigga. So we want to clear this shit up. I was fucking one of the Hypnotic girls. That's who I was fucking with. Surprise, beam. You thought it was a bottle war? No, nigga. I rolled up there with that bitch. So all that shit, nigga. Let's clear that up, nigga. Let's get to that.
Steve Francis, if you're
Fuck
watching,
you, Steve.
please.
Get all that shit. Didn't give us no goddamn championship. You ain't got to respond to that shit.
All right.
Yao Ming said you was a bitch ass nigga. What you think I'm finna say? I follow. I concur.
Oh, speaking of Vegas, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, I know it's an easy one, but I guess I also have to go with GOAT as well as my.
I mean, unless you ask him to read a piece of paper. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not get him to do that. Like,
to clarify,
have you heard
boxing.
definitely not reading. Like, it sounds like deaf people fucking when he reads. I mean, there's no S&P here with that. I mean, like, I can get you some clips of him reading, and it's just like, who wants to do that? Like, you know, definitely punching.
I mean, that's not everybody's giftedness, you know? Like, let's give Floyd the benefit of the doubt here.
I mean, you know, it's fine with me, you know?
Billy's gonna get me beat up.
Yeah, like all night, like that's what you. Yeah, go ahead.
It's your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. Mike Tyson. Never before has a champion been the champion with no championship. Mike Tyson is a champion at life. He has overcome everything that life has thrown at him. Poverty, incarceration, success. He had his at the height of his career was locked up. Some might say some bogus ass charges. Like, faced that, dealt with that, came out, started over, got it back, fought through, lost, and then stayed relevant and like kept winning at life. And then now you hear Mike Tyson say, hey, like, all my wins are trash. Like, he got out of there not living and hanging his hat on being this like winner in the eyes of any of that shit. And it's just like he learned his life lessons changed the lives and trajectory of many people. Like, there would be no Floyd Mayweather with the level of life he has without the lessons that Mike Tyson had to like learn at real time. So it's like champion at life. Yeah. Mike Tyson.
Shout out to Mike Tyson. Ooh, Tom Brady. Damn. He's going out bad right now, but
I mean, what's your issue with it? Why you say he's going out bad?
I'm just saying, I don't care about the divorce stuff. I'm just saying, you came back, you unretired and came back to be 2-2 right now. I'm not saying, but I think it's a long shot that he, makes it back to the Super Bowl. But long shot, just currently GOAT in general. I will say,
who's the current champion of NFL? Like, who had the last championship?
The Rams won it last year.
Right. So, and before that, he beat.
Yeah. I mean, he was.
And then he retired.
Well,
So
yeah.
that-
Well, he
so-
retired
so
this
the
past
Ram-
year when he didn't make it, and you know.
Yeah, he lost in a semi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think if like Antonio Brown was not in his house trying to fuck his wife, like he could like won? Like
Who said he was in his house trying to do that?
I mean, you gotta like look at it.
I
like,
don't
he
think the
lost,
worst about.
Like he took a risk on Antonio Brown. Told Antonio Brown, "Come live with me." We ain't had no problems with Giselle to this point. Then you got hooked nigga dick living in the house
Oh no.
of a wide receiver, living in your crib in Florida. Giselle ain't had that type of dick, that type of art, like energy in there, like Tom's, like think about that. And you bring this unorthodox energy, and then like they win the Super Bowl, and then like it's now like, oh shit, Don Antonio's hugging his wife, and she's like, thank you for like fucking me all the days. And Tom was up there with Belichick, like, you know, arguing with Belichick on the phone and in the film study, like she been wanting to get like choke fuck like all this time, and it's like to some rap music, to like 2 Chainz or like Pooh Shiesty. Like you gotta think like all that shit is in a house now, and now you look at that, and then he's now in this like second season, and then Antonio Brown walks off the field in the middle of the game, and he's like, fuck you. But I'm like, really, he was already fucking his wife, so of course it was weird. It's like a lot of shit that was happening. And then like Tom trying to deal with that pressure.
Gosh. Yes, I finally won.
Yeah.
I finally won.
It was Soulja
Thank you.
Boy, who was a bullshit artist. I wanted to get that out.
Why?
We are following.
Oh, so was that the one?
Soulja Boy.
Are you sure?
Bullshit artist. Fucking same chicks. Don't matter. Look, let me say this. I mean, I give you your props for credit is due. But yeah, not really impressed. I mean, want to make sure we got some clarity here. No, not at fucking all. Not at all. No, stop. I think that's what people should tell you. Stop. Like, no, we don't need to hear your new music. I mean, who needs it? I mean, why? I'ma say stop. It's a drug problem. It's a crash. Stop. Like really stop. Like, get him some help. Like, why are y'all fans like seeing him do this shit? Kanye put him off the album for a reason, and I think we should support that. So again, Soulja Boy, you know, if you too want to get out there, let's just get that out there. I'm not scared. Yeah, let's clear that up on all 3 of these cameras.
You
Call
know
Holly.
what?
We'll set it up.
Yeah. I could be the new broker for like fights here if we need to do that. But I want to thank you for coming on, being an amazing sport for my first show, season 2, Hot Seat with Holly Heat. And
Was this
thank you
Magic
for
Johnson?
Well, okay, my daughter kind of don't worry about that.
Okay.
She's a little sleepy today. Anyway, thank you for coming on. Thank you for making, I think, everybody here laugh. And
I was venting. A lot of it was venting. Shit, probably not gonna make the show.
Therapeutic for you.
You know, we'll circle back.
You know,
come back and talk about some shit.
Yeah. So thank you for being here, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Hot Seat with Holly Heat, season 2. More to come after this.
One of the largest drug dealers.
Oh no! See, hold on. I got to get in this.
We
Wait,
got-
your mama was a drug
My
dealer.
mom was one of the largest drug dealers.
Okay, so yeah. Can I have anything on my podcast?
I'm serious. 100%. Like
What's
still
that
to
time?
this day. My mother is 70 and just got off parole.
Damn, Adrian.
Oh man, okay.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Like,
We gonna talk.
I didn't know
Get my
that.
number. Let me get your number right now.
All right, yeah.
Right now.
And ran off with like the crackhead, you know, obviously.
Yeah.
Young dude.
So she was selling crack.
Oh yeah, this is 80s. Big rock.
Oh,
So crack, like powder. Like I walked in, it was like bricks.
Wait,
like
wait.
I've seen.
Okay.
So anyway, dude.
She was selling cocaine and crack, or
Yes.
just crack?
No, mostly crack, but cocaine.
Well, she had to
got
get cocaine to make the crack
create
with.
it. Yeah, baking soda.
So could you cook crack?
Unfortunately.
Oh, that's not unfortunate, baby.
That is unfortunate.
No, it's not.
There's things because once you get that smell, you'll never forget that smell.
I mean, we all learn how to smell it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you better
know
learn
good
that.
crack.
You
I know good
cook
crack
it
in the
with a rock
microwave,
up.
but that's like, you know, I'm sure
Yeah, you never.
your mom is a way better crack cook than most.
But she didn't have to. That's the thing.
She had people that under her that would do
Right,
that.
so
She was a boss.
on
Okay.
on